Hello and welcome to episode 361. We're going to be making a sword in the stone that you can pull out of the stone. We're in version 1.19.4. Okay, so I've given myself a couple of eggs. One egg, you can put it down. The other egg removes it. So when you're building the map, nice and quick. So what happens? You put it down, you come along, you pull the sword slowly out the stone. And then you get a nice netherite sword. Pretty simple, really. I don't think I need to waffle on about anything. We can just start building it now. Okay, right, we don't need any scoreboard objectives, so I'm just going to get on and give myself some eggs so we can place and remove this thing. So we'll have give egg, place, and I will give player, I usually use slime, don't I? So slime spawn egg for place. If you want to give it a name, I'll put that command in the description, but here I'm just going to give it an entity tag. Entity tag, it will be a ID Minecraft marker, and I want it to have some tags. Just one tag actually, sword place. Now I'm going to copy all of that, control copy. We'll get another command block, pop a sign on it. This will be give egg remove, and we'll paste that back in, and I'm going to change that from sword place to sword remove, and I'm going to give it another tag. Later on I'm going to use this to target anything with the tag sword and kill it, so this will kill itself as well now. And let's change the egg type so we can distinguish them since they don't have names. Strider. Okay, so I should have 2 eggs. I do indeed. Right, let's make a controller for placing it. Controller for placing it. I'm going to keep it simple to start with. We'll execute at any entity whose type equals marker, whose tag equals sword place. Run set. I didn't press the T. Set block at those coordinates. Chiseled stone bricks. Okay, done. Let's make a testing spot, somewhere where we can test. Then I can hard code a reset. This is just a temporary reset we're going to use. We're not going to hard code anything in it. Just for this reset though, so we can test. Okay. Now let's put it down. Probably helps if we set it up so it's repeating and it's actually turned on. There we go, so that works. I can break it. Marker's still there. Okay, so it's going to keep coming back. So clearly what we're going to want to do there then is kill any entity, type equals marker, tag equals sword place. Done. Now I should be able to, yep, I can. Can I put one down? Yep. Let's make a temporary reset then. We will do set block those coordinates, and we'll just set it to air, so that will get rid of the chisel block. Temporary reset. Okay, so now we can reset it. Right, so that bit's working. Okay, let's copy this block, control middle mouse, and put it on the end. So kill the marker, yep, okay, and now let's edit this middle one. Right, we are going to execute at any entity, type equals marker, tag equals sword place. I want to run summon an interaction entity this time at those coordinates. I want it to, do I want to have some tags? Yeah, I want some tags for this. Tags, so one tag, we'll give it sword. So that means the remove egg is going to be able to target it. And we'll have a sword item. I suppose makes sense. I don't think we'll use that tag, but actually no, we'll call it sword base. Sword base, okay. And then the item we have in it we'll call sword item. That makes more sense. Right, when I click on it, I want my hand to move. So response true. And I'm going to give it a width. I just set it as 1 for now. Okay, let's just check what happens. Cool, yeah, that works. There's our interaction entity, we can see it. Right, let's add an extra block onto our reset. And we're just going to kill everything with the tag sword. So obviously if I had more on my map, this would kill them all, but we're just testing. So let's just kill any entity whose tag equals sword. Right, okay. So we've got an interaction entity appearing. That's a good start. Let's give it a passenger. Passengers. That is not how you spell passengers. Passengers, which is a list, and we only want one passenger. And I want that passenger to be ID. I want it to be an item display. Okay. And I want it to have some tags as well. Tags. We'll have two tags. First, sword. And then what does I say? Sword item? Sword item will do. Yeah. This is going to display the item. So we better say what item it is displaying. Item. The item is going to have an ID. I'm going to use a netherite sword. And then that will have a count of 1. Okay, let's try that. Done. Let's pop an egg down. Okay, right, the sword's probably inside. Let's break. Yeah, okay, the sword's in there, and it's at the wrong angle. Okay. Right, so we're going to have to wiggle the sword around a bit and lift everything up. Okay, so this should kill everything. Cool, nice easy testing. Right, I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play with the interaction size. So we've got a width of 1. That's far too wide. Let's just, I don't know, probably 0.5 maybe, just half a block. That's probably good enough. We've got to account for the handles of the sword. And let's lift it up a bit as well. We don't want it on the block. We want it above the block, really. 0.6. Yeah, okay. And let's get some transformation information on this sword. So passengers opens with square brackets, and our first passenger is in curly brackets. So let's keep going until we get to the end. There we go. So our first passenger, that's inside passengers. That's inside the passenger we're making. So transformation. Oh, okay. Left rotation. We want square brackets 0f because it's all going to be defaults. For now, I'm going to copy all the way up to left. I'm going to go back to the end again. I'm going to put right, paste in that. So we've got left rotation default, right rotation default, translation is going to be default for now. So 0f, 0f, 0f. And scale, which we're going to put as default for now as well. 1F, 1F, 1F. Okay, so if we run it now, it should be exactly the same. Let's pop it down. Let's break the. Okay, we've moved that up. Yeah, I forgot that. And the sword's moved up as well because the sword is a passenger of the interaction entity. Okay, so that's all right. We want to turn the sword upside down. Okay. Well, let's fiddle with that sword. Right, so I think it looks a bit big as well, actually. So I think first I'm going to change its scale. I'm going to make it 0.8. 0.8. 0.8. Just make it a little bit smaller because it looked a bit big. Okay. And I want to... Okay, let's change its left rotation. Now, I'm not going to use these here. So I'm going to get rid of all that, the square brackets and the 0fs, and I'm going to put in some curly brackets. And instead, I'm going to do axis, and that's going to have square brackets, and then angle, and let's do 1.57, which I think is a quarter turn. All right, and which axis do we want to turn? Not the X, not the Y. I think we want to turn the Z axis. Oh, I've actually put Z. That's a bit silly. Okay. Right, let's have a look at what we've got going on now. Okay, it's good. Now I think that flipped it. Yeah, I think that flipped it too far. So we want to do less flipping. Now we flipped it 1.57, so if we get half of a 3.14, if we times it by 2, that's going to be too far. So we want half of 1.57, so we're going to end up and add that on to 1.57. So we're going to end up with something about 235 would make sense, wouldn't it? Because in circles, I think 235 is one of the angles, so I don't think I need to do many maths there actually. Perfect. Right, now clearly you are too low. I want you to be inside the interaction entity, so let's change your translation. Only the translation for the passenger, and we're going to lift it up a bit. Let's lift it up. Let's try half a block. Okay, I'm happy with that. I think it looks all right, apart from the fact it's stupidly dark. Well, we know how to fix that with brightness. So let's go after the transformation information, which is there. And let's put some brightness in, and let's force its brightness. So sky 15 and block 15. Whew, done. Cool. Okay, I am happy with how that sort of looks. You can adjust those figures if you want. I think that looks all right. Yep. Okay, let's make a way to remove it. So this is going to be controller remove. Right, so what do we want to do first? Probably let's put some checks in as well. So let's put more checks than we need. I mean, it's only going to be the map developer that's going to be placing them, so we don't really need these checks. But let's put some in anyway. Execute at any entity whose type equals marker, whose tag equals sword remove. First we'll do a block check. If block, we'll look down a bit because we're going to be running this egg on top of the block. So let's say if the block underneath is a chiseled stone bricks, and if entity, any entity, type equals interaction, tag equals sword base, within a distance of, let's say, half a block as well, 0.5, then we will run set block -1, because we're doing it on top of the block, to air. Okay, done. I'm going to copy this reset here, and I'm going to paste it on the end, and I'm going to change that to say sword remove. Right, now if I whack one of these red eggs on top, we should do absolutely nothing because we haven't turned it on. Okay, so what expected would happen, we turned it on, the marker was still there, and it only got rid of the block because that's pretty much what we told it to do. Okay, let's remove those things. Okay, so we've got rid of the block. Let's change this. So we want to execute at any entity whose type equals marker, tag equals sword remove, run kill any entity, any entity whose tag equals sword. And now we have to limit it. So we've got the interaction entity, that's 1. We've got the item display, that's 2. And we'll have the marker, so that's 3. So we'll say limit equals 3 and sort equals nearest. Okay. That looks all right. Hey. Right, have we done? What have we done? Kill, tag, sword, limit. Oh, I said limit 3, and then I put 1 anyway. So all we did was kill the marker. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Okay, so we put it down, and that should remove it. So we shouldn't have anything left there. Cool. Okay, well, we don't need that anymore. We should be able to place these anywhere now. Put one there, and we can remove it with the eggs. Yeah, okay, so cool. Our temporary reset has done its job. That's all working. So now we need a controller so the player can interact with it. So MapMaker comes along, places his little sword down using these blocks here. You turn them off, and then when the player is actually playing the map, this is the only controller you're going to need. Controller, so we'll call it main. Right, first thing, tag the interaction entity that is interacted with by a player, and remove its interaction. Execute as any entity whose type equals interaction, whose tag equals sword base. At itself, we will store success onto an entity into the interaction entities interaction.player data. It'll be an integer and we'll times it by 0, so it's always going to put a 0 in there on target. So it has to have just been interacted with. So if it has been interacted with, we reset the interaction, and we're also going to do run tag any entity type equals interaction tag equals sword base distance equals less than 0.1 limit equals 1 add well, I suppose you're pulling the sword, pull me. Okay, so that's going to add a tag to it and remove its interaction. Now each time I pull on it, I want it to come up out the stone a little bit. So I'm going to do execute as any entity type equals interaction tag equals pull me, and I'm going to copy that because we're going to be using that a lot. Okay, at yourself, run TP yourself, and then just up a little bit, I suppose. Let's try 0.1. 0.1. Okay, done, and we'll have a reset on the end. Tag any entity whose type equals interaction tag equals pull me, remove, pull me. Okay, let's put one down. Let's go. Right, now if I click on this, if we turn it on, okay, so we can pull it slow. There we go. We're pulling it out the stone. That's cool. Okay, let's reset that. Right, that works. When I pull it, I want to add a sound, and let's have a particle as well. So we'll need one block for sound, one block for particle. Let's copy that reset, control middle mouse, and put it on the end here then. And let's get ourselves some fresh. And I'll make these conditional. Okay, these are only going to run if we're actually teleporting the thing up. So, execute at type interaction, tag equals pull me. Right, we don't need to execute as it, we only need its location, so we'll do at instead. And we'll run play sound. Well, it's a sword in a stone, so it's got to be the grindstone, hasn't it? Grindstone use master channel for all players at those coordinates. Volume, probably make the volume a bit lower. Let's say 0.1. Pitch 1. Well, we've tried 2. Let's see what happens if we try 2. There we go. So now we're playing a sound. And execute as. Well, we don't want as. We want that to be at again. In fact, I'm going to copy that with that change. Copy. Execute at. Type interaction. Tag pull me. Run. I think we're going to add some extra stuff to this, but run particle dust. I want some black dust. 0, 0, 0, 1. At those coordinates. Yeah, we're going to have to make some changes. Quite small. no speed, count to 3. I don't think you're even going to see that because it's going to be down inside the block. So should we lift it up a bit? I reckon we should here. We'll lift it up. Let's lift it up there. Okay. Done. Oh, I could just do it here, can't I? Put one down. Okay, far too high. But we've got that little sound. Okay. I like that. So the thing I don't like is these particles. I'm going to align it to the Y. So let's do a little demonstration. So if we align it to Y, if it's anywhere in this space, we align it to the Y, bang, it'll snap down to the bottom. So let's try that. So execute at type interaction, tag equals pull me, align to the Y. Done. Perfect. Now it's always at the bottom until it gets too high and then it goes to the top. I don't think we can fix that. I'll tell you what we'll do. We will do align Y if block boom 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 is chiseled stone bricks. Done. Okay, let's try that. Okay, we missed one. This when it gets here, we're going to pull it out. So this one doesn't count. We're missing a bit of particle on the last pull. I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, right. So we can pull it up. Now I want to be able to actually get the sword when it comes out. So I'm going to just clear up my inventory a little bit. There we go. So I want to check if the sword is still in the zone. If it's not, give myself a sword. That's 1. I want to play a sound. That's 2. I want to play a particle. That's 3. I want to kill the sword display entity. So that's 4. And then I want to do the reset. So I think, let's copy this. Control middle mouse. I'll need 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. And then we'll reset. Okay. Right, first, if it gets too high, summon a sword. Okay, so do we still have execute at type interaction tag equals pull me? Yes, we do. Unless block, boom, boom, boom. Let's just say minus 0.1. So unless the block is still there, is chiseled stone. Yeah, I am wishing I'd picked a shorter named block now. Chiseled stone bricks. Then we will run summon an item. And I'll lift it up a bit so it's not stuck in the block or anything. 0.5 will do for a test. What item do I want to summon? Item. I want to summon. We need ID. I want to summon in Minecraft netherite sword. Yeah, and I think we probably need a count of 1B. Yeah, and let's give it a little bit of motion so it pops. Motion. I'll have nothing on the X. We'll have a little bit on the Y so it pops up and nothing on the Z. Okay, that'll do. So we summon a sword. We're just going to pop up a little bit. And then we're going to play a sound. So run. Play sound. I'm going to use my default amethyst block dot break will do. Break on the master channel for all players at those coordinates. Full volume, full pitch, 0 for min volume. Now I'm going to do some particles. So execute at type interaction tag equals pull me. Run particle. Electric spark, and I'll lift this up a bit as well, 0.5, and we'll have it a little bit bigger, 0.2, 0.2, 0.2, and we'll give it a little bit of speed for this one. Let's say count of 20. Done, and what did I say I wanted to do last? Oh yes, I have to kill the interaction entities, don't I? So execute type tag equals pull me, run kill any entity who's tagged with sword. So how many have we got? We just got 2. The interaction entity and the item display. So limit equals 2, sort equals nearest. Done, and then we've got the reset. Okay, I don't have to go anywhere. I can just put one down. I keep forgetting that. Right, let's try. Oh, right. So the thing just flew away instantly. Well, we got the sparks. We got a sound. It does seem to have destroyed it. It seems to have killed every entity. Execute as any entity. Run say hi. So just me. So there's no other entities existing in this world. So they did die. So we got some success. I reckon actually, if it goes up, okay. If it goes up, then if it goes up and we summon the item, okay, let's just make these conditional. If it summons the item, then we'll play the sound, then we'll play the sparks, and then we'll kill the sword. Oh, okay. I feel kind of happy with that. Let's pop that on there. Better. Okay, okay, it's there. Now that one doesn't have the particles. Never mind. Well, we've got the sword, but it's not killing itself now. What's that little thing? No. Okay, why did it not kill itself? Let's have a look. Did we get the sparks? That's worth checking. We didn't get the sparks. Okay, so there might be a problem with one of our commands. We know we got the item. Yes. We didn't get the sound though, did we either? Okay, so execute at type interaction, tag equals pull me, run, play sound. Have we made a mistake in there? At S. Oh, that was very silly. At S. There is no target. So all play. Oh dear. Oops. At S needs to be at all players. So that was causing that to fail. So this wasn't running. And that's not running. So this wasn't running. Okay. Ooh, sword in the stone. Nice. Okay. There we go. We've done it. We now have a nice little sword in the stone. I just imagine if you're making this on a map, you're probably only going to have one of these anyway. Maybe you might not. Maybe you'll have more. So you can just come along, pop it down. Let's do F3B. You would now turn these off because you're not using them anymore. Just have this one running. And then when the player comes along, ooh, there's a sword. They can pull it out. And they get themselves a nice tasty netherite sword. Okay, there we go. Job done. Sword made. Right. That's it for today. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.